You know, I come in here a little late tonight. Ring, ring, ring. Hello? Mr. Rice. Rashee Rice. Yeah. Real good to hear from you, pal. Sorry about my voice. Real good to hear from you, pal. Yeah.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We've been waiting to hear from you. We've been expecting you, sir. Yes, Mr. Rice. Thank you, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, Okay, bye-bye. That was him. Rashee Rice is back. Come on. Tell me you aren't excited.
Mashed potatoes.
Yeah, buddy.
All right, so Rice is back with a new addition. Something grabs a hold of me tightly, flows like a harpoon daily and nightly, and I can't tell you how excited I am to have this marvel back in the saddle for week number 7. It does disappoint me greatly that I don't have Egbuka and Rice together, because I have this in about 70% of my leagues. And I warn everybody that this is the cost of bulk brute force drafting. And I am a victim of that, of my own doing. And I do not apologize for it at all. I will continue to brute force draft. What's brute force drafting? Where you do consume a lot of the same players on a lot of your teams, especially in best ball. And while it can have a devastating situation unfold for you, where you have a tremendous amount of leagues get hit by an injury like the Egbuka injury, but it can also have a tremendous benefit of when everything's going really well, you have a tremendous amount of variance of that good option. It comes with the territory. You either got to be able to accept that or diversify a lot more in the coming seasons. I personally know what I'm signing up for. When I sign up for an Egbuka, Rice, even Hendy on a lot of my teams, I know what I'm signing up for. And you got to build appropriately to weather through some of the Hendy late blooming situations. Scatterboo blooming, look at that. Scatterboo steps up, boom. What a great safety mechanism. The year we had Javonte Williams and Breece Hall as total league winners, the top 2 bold predictions of this channel were the Breece Hall, Javonte Williams breakout seasons where they both tore ACLs. It was a brutal blow at the beginning of the season for the channel, but we had Kenneth Walkers, we had Amon-Ra St. Brown's, Jalen Hurts. That's the whole point of Scatterboo, the midseason monsters. Scat steps up in the nick of time. We've got a bunch of those supporting cast role players. But Rashee Rice coming back for about 70% of my leagues feels good. It feels real good.
Mashed potatoes.
Yeah,
Mahomes, probably 70% ownership of Mahomes across all my leagues. I think it was 75% in best ball. That's feeling really good. I smell meatloaf. But I'd be lying to you if I didn't admit that this sucks right now to not have the Bookmeister and the Rashee Rice Meister together in the same kitchen right now, but they will join each other soon.
Mashed potatoes.
What you've got to do is focus on getting into the playoffs. You got to buckle up, roll your sleeves up, pull your pants up, tighten your belt. If you don't have a belt, don't worry. We'll figure it out. Do that little roll where you roll the top part of your pants just a little bit. The more you roll it, the tighter it gets. You'll figure out a way to keep those pants on. No pause needed as you march into the remaining part. I smell meatloaf. Now, I do have one little situation that appears to be unfolding before our very eyes, and that is this man, Jahmyr Gibbs. I don't know how, I don't know why, I don't sometimes even ask questions. I just roll with the flow roll with the punches, accept whatever's headed down, whatever street we're on. This panic right now on Jahmyr Gibbs is like no panic I've seen in a while. It's wild. The news report that came out today has Jahmyr Gibbs truthers in a tizzy. They're not thinking clear. They're thinking doom and gloom. They're not using their heads or their brains. The report is that the Lions head coach Dan Campbell seeks more carries for David Montgomery to balance out the backfield. And instead of looking at maybe potentially the positives of this thing, the fact that there's nothing's going to take Jahmyr Gibbs out of play, number one. Number two, does anybody think that maybe this is actually a good thing? That they get the lightning and thunder, the 1-2 punch back, the Sonic and Knuckles back into a groove so that Jahmyr Gibbs has more bang for the buck, more oomph with the punch, more ability to take a football house like Bijan did. Bijan's getting 140, 130, 125, 150 off 13, 14, 15 carries. Jahmyr Gibbs is that guy as well. Jahmyr Gibbs is the second best running back in the National Football League. I don't want to hear any different. He is that guy.
Let's go, mashed potatoes!
And those of you that think you can contain a Jahmyr Gibbs, I laugh at that notion. I almost envy you that you could sit there and not stay awake at night thinking, how do I get this man on my roster? How do I trade for Jahmyr Gibbs? I can't sleep at night. If in 9 leagues I only have 7 shares of Jahmyr Gibbs, I envy you if you can't think that way. I envy somebody that can get a wink of sleep in such a situation. I need 9 shares out of 9. I envy you. If you don't see this as a buying opportunity, if you see this as a runaway opportunity, I can't help you. I don't want to help you. I would like to replicate you.
Let's go, mashed potatoes!
Because if you think that Jahmyr Gibbs goes down because of this news, if you panic like Peter and you think this is something you got to run from, I want more of you. We need more of you across all leagues. We need to replicate your thinking and behavior because it's very, very helpful.
Let's go, mashed potatoes!
And the amount of questions I'm getting around, do I keep Jahmyr Gibbs? Do I trade Jahmyr Gibbs? And maybe the most head-scratching question and behavior I'm witnessing and seeing is, Smitty, do I accept this trade for Jahmyr Gibbs? Smitty, someone's offering me Rico Dowdle and DK Metcalf. Do I take that for Jahmyr? Do I send Jahmyr Gibbs for that? Or, Smitty, someone's offering me Jahmyr Gibbs for my Rico Dowdle and injured Garrett Wilson. Do I take that? The fact that I'm reading an insane number of these questions in my own live chat, DMs, wherever it may be, friends texting me, is Jahmyr Gibbs cooked? It's so head-scratching. Amazing and concerning. A concerning vibe goes over me like a wave, like a tidal wave, because I feel like maybe I didn't do my job effectively. The fact that people on my dime, on my watch, are even hesitating on accepting a trade that sends them Jahmyr Gibbs, or they hesitate on hitting the rejection button or hitting this button when someone sends them an awful trade offer for Jahmyr Gibbs, and they think about it and they ask me the question, and I don't hear this kind of reaction or vibe.
You are offer sex. You are trade offer sex.
This concerns me. This concerns me that my people overwhelmingly don't have that reaction when someone comes and knocking for Jahmyr Gibbs. I'm telling you right now, not all of you play with peasants. Not all of you play with, Nimrods and Wild Willies and Concerned Calebs and Panic Peters and Upset Ungers and worried Williams' uncles, Sam's cousins, Uncle Buck, or Ned, or your Aunt Edna. Not everybody gets to play in a league like that. I get that. I understand some of you out there are like, I don't see this. It's so head scratching. I even have a handful, even 12 out of 100 people that are sitting here in a situation where they're questioning an offer that's coming in for Gibbs that they should be slamming the door shut on, or they're questioning whether they should accept an offer that gives them Gibbs at the price of maybe 2/3 off. No one's saying this is going to happen everywhere. The world doesn't revolve around you, Steve65741 on YouTube or on Instagram. Just because you don't see it, Michael from accounting or from repo, doesn't mean that Billy Bob on the collection floor at the same tower downtown isn't seeing that as he's digging into his Cobb salad, because he's not allowed to go out and get wings with the boys on a Tuesday afternoon. He's got to sit at home and make his salad the night before. He doesn't even get chicken in his salad. His lunch goes right in the community fridge on the third floor that he's got to walk to and waste 2 to 3 minutes of his lunchtime to even get to said elevator, to said refrigerator, to sit down and watch said portion of the fantasy football show. Doesn't even get to watch a full hour of it. That person, not everybody's that person, but not everybody's the person that's sitting back at the local wing shop having about an hour and 5-minute break, that's making trades like this. Two worlds do exist. Not everything revolves around your world. So come on, get with the program. Understand that there is a buy low scenario here. Even if you don't think it exists, explore it, test it, caress it, hold it. Make sure you attempt it. Because Gibbs is sitting there. I'm seeing it in overwhelming numbers. He's sitting there for the taking. Do it live, young men and women. But the continuum of the gigawatt component structure of Jahmyr Gibbs' workload divide has a megawatt offload that if you compartmentalize the component conjunction timekeeper and you flux capacitor out the continuum component megabolt, things just end up happening. And that's why Jahmyr Gibbs is a top 5 to 10 running back instead of top 6 to 10. All right, let's get to these super chats. We might end up getting into an underdog draft play. $5, get 100. We might open phone lines if we're getting crazy, feeling crafty. How do you get into an underdog draft? Well, that's a great question. You hit this link right here. I'm going to pin said link in the live chat. Play $5, get 100. Use that phone number at the bottom if you think you have a problem with any of this kind of stuff, because definitely want you to do that. Hit that link. I'm going to pin it right there. Link is pinned in the live chat. Play 5, get 100 on underdog. We'll be drafting for week number 7. We'll be drafting for week number 7 and doing it live. Thomas, my Nico and Dowdle to the Hubbard owner for Derrick Henry and QJ. My question to you, Thomas, is what makes you think? Let's do a little. Come on, Thomas. Come on. Let's do a little math here. Nico is on this level, and then a couple steps down, we've got Derrick Henry. Okay. Then we've got QJ, who fell off the stairs. Maybe he can climb back up to a decent place. And then we've got Nico. So Dowdle's kind of like on the same floor. He might be sitting. I don't know how long he'll sit here on this step right here, but Dowdle is right here. So you've got this floor and this floor are higher than where these guys. I don't understand what we're doing here, Thomas. If this building floods all the way to this floor, what happens to these two players? Can someone tell them in the chat, please, what happens to the two players that are sitting here underwater? Not saying Dowdle doesn't sink down here or even fall. Maybe he falls. It's possible Dowdle could fall to this step. But Nico's not even near the water. He's several levels up, just watching with his wings while these guys go down. Maybe Dowdle doesn't, but Henry, QJ are going down to the 3rd floor to get their Cobb salad. Hopefully that makes sense. Thank you for the super chat, Thomas. Thomas to the moon. Thomas, thank you. Cody with the super chat. Cody says drop Ingram, Hunter, Downs for Tez, Booty, Bam. I'd probably say keep Hunter. I do like Downs a lot as a player. I just wonder if he'll be consistent. I would probably say I rank these guys. I still rank Hunter. Still tremendous upside. Again, Jahmyr Gibbs didn't do a single thing until this very upcoming week, his rookie season. So far behind where Travis Hunter is. Jahmyr Gibbs was so far behind where Travis Hunter is his rookie year. And he played like the number 2 running back from week 7 on. I'm not saying Hunter takes off this week, but I'm still not dropping Hunter. So I'm going to write Hunter on the board here. I'm going to say I really do like Booty and Downs on the season about right here. I'm going to probably say that there's a chance that Bam is playing in between right now, but probably falls down eventually. So if you need now production, I could rank Bam 2nd or I could rank him 4th. So Cody, kind of depends on your motives and what vantage point you're standing from. Drop Keon Coleman for Booty. I'd probably rather have Booty at this moment in time. Who wouldn't? Should I move anyone or ride out Bucky's injury? I think that there's always a way to move a player, even if you love the player. You could move Buka. Could you move Buka and let's say Waller to get into a safer player that's not missing any time at all right now, like Nico? I would take that trade even over Buka. Would I trade T-Mac and Bucky to get into a, let's call it Henry and Adams? I would probably take that. If I need wins, I can't afford to wait. Would I take a different player here? Of course, I'd rather have Achane. Of course, I'd rather have a Kyron. Of course, I'd rather do a move like that, Adams and Ky. But would I trade away? Waller's an interesting player as well. You roll with Pitts, whether he disappointed you or not. So you're going to trade Bucky and Waller away for one safer running back. Said running back could be Judkins. Does this buy you an additional player? It certainly could. It might not, but it could. It could get you a free Hendy who you can wait on. They might be ready to wash their hands of them, and you just take them in that deal. Might you get a Lad McConkey? It is possible. Maybe not anymore, but you certainly could try. Might you get a player like, let's call it, you could have got Scat a few weeks ago. This is how you're trying to think. You're trying to think one step ahead. Might we go in the wide receiver department and say, look, a JMO could be really good here. Bucky, Waller, for Judkins, JMO. There's always a way out. Ray, there's always a way out. You just got to throw enough offers at the wall, and one of them is going to break through. But that's the direction I'm taking this. $13.99 hauler from this gentleman, Allen. Should I propose a trade? Quinshawn or QJ Johnston, I think you mean. Quentin Johnston, I think you mean. You said Johnson. Johnston, Kendre Miller for Scattaboo. I would certainly propose that. I would bring maybe some sort of shield for when you offer it and said person starts throwing pots and pans at you. But certainly you could propose that. It's a free country. No one's stopping you from performing your First Amendment right. But I have May, Gibbs, Swift, Judkins. Swift is a great player to potentially trade away right now. You can move Swift, and once you get rejected and the door slammed on your face on this first offer, you go send QJ, Quentin Johnston, and Swift away for one said player. That said player could be, honestly, Swift can get you quite a bit right now. This could be Adams. It'd be a fantastic trade. This could be, let's call it, you never know. Could be Rice. Someone waited this long, but I doubt you get that now, but it's possible. Adunze if you need a wide receiver that's got the bye week out of the way. This ain't a bad idea. Ladd McConkey and maybe another player right here. Maybe this is where you dip in and get somebody's Hampton for free, and you're basically saying, well, I kind of like Ladd and Swift the same. Let me wait on Hampton. Something like that is creatively interesting, or add in a Hendy and Ladd, something along those lines. Maybe JMO and a little bit better running back could be in store in that. Henry and something free. Alan, appreciate your super chat, young man. This one here from T Sizzle. Appreciate my boy T coming through. Nico Ferguson, too much if you're trading for CD. No, not at all. I think this is just preference. I would rather have CD Lamb. I think he's going to have an absolute insane rest of season. Standard league, Goddard or Waller. I'd probably go Goddard, but I certainly could understand going either one of these gentlemen. Pick up Burton. I don't think so, but depends on the options. Not super excited and running toward that, but if I already got Vidal on a team and I need a receiver, who should I pick up with the number one wide receiver pick? I don't really know who's available, my boy, but I'll throw the waiver wire board on screen. I think that the one player we want to add to this list, part of my frozen face, would be probably Luther Burden. And I don't know if we put him on here at all, but Luther Burden, you could easily, with DJ Moore's injury likely being out at least a week, you could easily put him around the 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 territory. But here's the waiver board for your viewing pleasure, young man. I may have forgotten a guy by the time we're talking about it now. It's possible that said player is needing to be added. Just let me know, and we can definitely look at where we would slot somebody. Vidal, love Vidal. Love Vidal. Vidal's a good pickup and roll this week. Roll with the boy. I mean, he looks good. He looks versatile. It's like a Temu version of like Achan. Like a Temu, like a Walmart meets Temu meets old Kmart, Big K version of Achan. Got BTJ, Ladd, Rice, London. You got a lot of guys you can trust there, Jaden. That's what you got. And I can only start 3 out of the 4. Odd man out's unfortunately going to be probably Laddie Boy for right now. Just for right now. I don't even necessarily need you trading them because bye weeks are going to make all of them important. Running back 2 is Hendy. Could trade. 1 of 5. Which wide receiver should I trade for which running back? So I think I would trade BTJ or Ladd, whichever one gets me the running back I need, because I believe in both of them. So let's get what we can get, right? So if we're moving potentially a Laddie Boy or a BTJ, we're probably looking at an ETN. We're probably potentially flirting with the Jacobs if someone's feeling a little crazy at the position. I think one could get you a Henry. One could get you a Javonte Williams. Not saying across the board, just in a certain unique situation, you're taking stabs at all these players. Somebody might bite. Javonte, Scattaboo, those are all players that you need to consider. Jaden, they're all pretty interesting for either one of those guys. Multiple leagues, 1. I have James Cook and Davis Cuff. However, I want to grab Vidal, as you should. And debating on who to drop, B-Rob, Ray Davis, or Harvey, or pass on Vidal. I definitely would rather have Vidal right now than all 3, but the problem with these 3 running backs is this opportunity, which we can't predict, will open said door for all 3 of them. So I could tell you to drop Ray Davis, and if Cook went down, Ray Davis would go to the moon, and you'd be pissed at me, but you have to understand that right now, in this moment in time, I feel like Davis is the least valuable, but all it takes is an injury to James Cook, and he's a league winner. He's a midseason monster for a reason. I think because Christian McCaffrey holds the most injury risk, I would probably say B-Rob is someone you hold. Because J.K. Dobbins is also one of the most injury-prone players in the league, you hold Harvey, and you go ahead and you let Ray Davis fly. But you keep an eye on him. Drop Marks or Harvey for Vidal. I would probably say I drop Marks for now for Vidal, but I monitor the hell out of that. I probably drop my kicker, have all running backs on roster, and make a trade versus cutting one of them. That would be my ultimate ideal strategy of choice. Trade Keenan Allen for Rashee Rice.
You're done. Your Bijan card has been revoked. Get Lamb.
Come on! I don't even know what to say. I feel like I'm not doing my job. Trade Keenan Allen for Rashee Rice. What are we doing? Can I get a response from it's what's your name? Fidel? It's me, Fidel. Fidel, can I get a response? What are we doing here, Fidel? Smitty, should I pick up a $100 bill or a $1 bill if they're both sitting on the ground? Fidel, I love you, pal. I hope you're not taking this the wrong way. I hope you got thick skin. Hope you got as thick a skin as you've got potential coffers to just be throwing money around in entry fees. What are we doing, bro? What are we doing back there? Whiteboard treatment when phone lines are open. All right, rock out. We'll see if we can open the phone line for you. Appreciate you. Not right this second, but when we open it up. As a Rice owner, are you taking T or Worthy rest of season? I'm taking Worthy. I do like T. Higgins a bit, but not a lot. Sounds like he's free, though. Christo, appreciate you with the super chat. Need wins now. Who doesn't, Christo? It's like when people say, Smitty, this isn't a must win. It's important. They're all important. Need to win now. Thank you for the $20 hauler.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Did Fidel ever answer? Fidel, I appreciate you, by the way. Need wins now. Lost neighbors and now Puka. I'm 2-4. Just traded Vidal for ETN. I like the move. Should I trade Genty for Henry? If you want to take a gamble because you need to mix things up, I'm okay with this. I almost prefer you get a little bit more because I feel like the fair market value can. Puka for 2. I definitely would trade Puka for 2 players. Is that what you're saying? So running backs, Mason, Sharps. If I'm trading Puka, I'm probably trading Puka for... I mean, you could trade Puka for a Barkley or a Henry and get an additional Lad or maybe even Adams if you catch somebody sleeping, or a Scattaboo and potentially, receiver is going to be tough because like you get to the Adams part and it kind of gets you maybe a better running back than Scattaboo, maybe not, but Adams and Scattaboo for Puka injured is understandable. I just would want you to get a little bit more if possible. I've seen people trade Puka or Buka, either one, and still get Nico or St. Brown straight up, JSN straight up. I'm not saying it's easy, but I see it enough that I need to advise you to make sure you're trying to capitalize on the situation. But the ETM move was great. Make sure you have Bashal Tootin. Go get him somehow, some way. And as far as Genty for Henry, I'm fine with it. I'm not saying it's what I would choose to do. I'm believing in Genty more than Henry. I still like buying Henry low. I think you just deserve to get more on the fair market value context of this. So try and get more. Just traded Pittman and Vidal for Henry. Did I win? I think the Vidal Pittman side could potentially outscore the Henry side, but I take the gamble. I certainly take the gamble. It is a fun gamble to take, especially if, you need some sort of bigger name player and component to your team that will just make a big difference for you and give you the shot you feel you deserve to get. Henry's deserving of that look. This is a very, very cheap price tag for Henry. Henry, if I would have told you Pittman, who no one really even wanted this, after a couple weeks, if I told you could take Pittman and a week 4 to 5 waiver player, and you could get said Henry, you would tell me that if I told you this in week 1, before week 1 kicked off, or even after week 1, especially after week 1. And I said, and coming into week number 7, you'll get Henry for a waiver wire pickup that you had in weeks 4 or 5. Not week 1 or 2, weeks 4 or 5, waiver wire pickup. Week 6. I think it was a week 6 waiver wire. Week 6 waiver wire ad. And Pittman, Pittman, you get Derrick Henry, you would have called me absolutely a lunatic. This is the world we live in. And it's a wild world, I'll tell you that right now. A wild, wild world. All love, brother. Just accepted the trade. Congratulations. Unbelievable.
You've just been Smitty approved.
Now take a lap. But take a victory lap. Pat yourself on the back. It's me, Fidel. What a deal. What a deal. This guy's out there getting Rashee right. What was the trade? It was so bad. I made myself forget it. I didn't want to have nightmares tonight. So I took it out of my brain. Keenan Allen for Rashee Rice. Oh my God. Jeez.
You've just been Smitty approved.
I hope you leave some of the chicks for the rest of us. Hope you leave some of the ladies for the rest of the people in the live stream. It's me, Fidel. What's he doing back there? All right. Jeez. Andre with the $20 super chat. Trev with a $4.99 super chat. We've got also is this Stiffy? Stiffy with the $20 super chat. Man, Fidel ain't leaving any of the ladies for anybody in the live chat. That's what Fidel does. He's consuming everything all at once, the greedy little guy. Need trade help, Smitty. Lost neighbors, Hampton, Egbuka, and Garrett Wilson, 12-team PPR double flex. Mason, JCM, Lad, waivers. Lad waiver. What's that mean, Lad waiver? You picked up Lad off waivers? It's ridiculous. It's disrespectful. It's outstanding. McBride, Fannin, Sharps, Daniel Jones, Indiana Jones, Dr. Jones, Harvey, Hendy, Buka, Garrett Wilson, Pitts. You got hit with injuries pretty badly. Let's see what he can do here. Mason, JCM, and unfortunately, Buka is a good trade piece for you. It's kind of like I explained earlier. You're trying to trade Buka, you're throwing in a Mason, and then you're trying to get that player that is replacing Buka that's playing now, and that Mason additive makes somebody want to take the gamble. So you're trying your best to go get a Nico. You're trying your best to, if you drop below Nico or JSN, which is going to be hard to get. I'm not saying it's easy. I see it every day though, so it's weird. But you go after Mason or Mason and Buka for Adams, and then you get that other piece now because you're throwing Mason in. If you were to do this, someone probably says, yeah, I might do that. But you're throwing in Mason to get a better player than Mason to balance the scale more, because this feels a little off. So you throw in the player, and then you ask for a better player than Mason here. So go to the Adams owner, go to the Lad owner, go to the potential, such a tough territory of wide receiver to go after. But you go after Lad, you go after Adams, you go after maybe a Sutton, maybe, you could do Rice straight up. You could give up Mason Buka for Rice straight up. And then obviously London straight up. Maybe a Dunze and something smaller, or Adams and a running back. Like Scat would make sense. I don't know that you would get it every time, but that's kind of what I'd be looking to do, Stiffy. Appreciate you. Andre with the WAD. Superflex 3 and 3. Thank you, Andre. Thank you, Stiffy.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Bunk bed celebration style, gentlemen. Appreciate you both. Andre, let's take this over to the high roller angle of the show and say, Superflex 3 and 3, 10-man QB, Stafford, Flacco, Lost Burrow, CMC, Bucky, Pollard, Bam Knight, Sharps, Amon-Ra, London, Lad, Booty. Thinking about trying to trade CMC and Lad for Gibbs, Rashad White, and Rice. Definitely. Now, normally I say you got to do CMC for two players, but when you start adding Rice into the equation, bro, I'm liking the idea that you're throwing down here. Like Gibbs and CMC, I'd rather have Gibbs. So you are taking huge advantage of this individual. If I had to throw in more, I would. Rice or Nico, either way. Andre, I like the way you think. If I've got to throw in a Booty here or there, no pause needed. Throw in a Pollard, throw in a Bam Knight, throw in a potential I don't know, Burrow for good keeping. Just say, you want Burrow? I don't know if he's on IR. That's an excellent trade. That's an excellent trade. I would Smitty approve that trade 5 times over. That would be fantastic. 12 teams, 3-3. Mahomes, Amon-Ra, JJ, Rice Lad, Cup JT, Scat, Swift, Pacheco, Kraft, moves. Love the team. Love the wide receivers. Love the running backs. Love the quarterback. You stand down, son. Stand down.
Alert. Stand down order in effect.
Trade you should not. Trade you should not have on your mind, young man. The only thing I would consider, I guess, would be, let's say you were to find like a Fannin on waivers. Let's say you were to find some sort of optical illusion sitting there right on the wire, like a Fannin. You could maybe move Kraft and Swift together for one monster. Adams, Jacobs, ETN, Henry, do it live, roll the dice, and then get that Fannin monster in the tight end spot. Going rogue at tight end, we call it, when you trade away your tight end or a real important position and you turn to the wire for answers. That's called going rogue. Smitty coined that many, many years ago. People copy it. It's how Dad did it. It's how America does it. And it's worked out pretty good so far.
You've just been Smitty approved.
Let's open the phone lines while we await more super chats. Dial into the bentonprint.com phone line.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
bentonprint.com phone line. All your business printing needs. These are the owners of the attic.shop, Benton Print. They are a phenomenal group of individuals, and we love them over at Benton Print. So go ahead and get you some business printing festivities. More room for activities. Just move everything off the desk. Call Benton Print. They'll print it for you. And then you have more room for activities. You don't have to have this stuff piled in the back. You just have them print it for the occasion. You work for a school. You work for a big business. You're going to a trade show. Your boss needs some sort of printing done. You call Benton Print. They'll take care of it. And they'll do it live. Fannin or Waller. I'm going Fannin. JCM. Startable. I can't tell if I'm getting sick. My nose is runny and itchy, but I don't know. I never had allergies growing up, and I've lived in Arizona, forever. But all of a sudden, I'm starting to get allergies, itchy nose, runny nose, like every year. I can't tell if I'm getting sick or not. The whole family's kind of sick, and I've been avoiding the last 2 colds. My immune system, I thought, was trash, but I don't know. I'm starting to fend off everything, knock on wood. Probably going to get me this time. Smitty, traded Allen for Lamb, got May. Yeah, I mean, with May, this makes sense. If it's a 1 QB league, you want Lamb over Allen anyway. So that's a fantastic trade. Nice move. Only other thing I'd even consider would be potentially trying to trade J.K. Dobbins and maybe a Diggs, or J.K. Dobbins and Metcalf for one additional big-time Nico monster. J.K. Dobbins and Diggs for even a Henry, or you got Barkley already, a Henry, or maybe J.K. Dobbins and something for Adams, J.K. Dobbins and even Pickens, who I love, but you could go get a monster wide receiver. Maybe J.K. Dobbins to the Buka owner who needs a running back, and you send them Diggs and you wait on Buka. There's ways to buy Buka. Tomorrow will probably be a show on how to acquire Buka and how to do things like that, similar to what I'm advising you to do, because there's a market to buy Buka and Bucky. I think I'll write that down. That will be tomorrow's video. Buka and Bucky. How to go get him. Why to go get him. How to go get him. How to do it live. Phone line 816. You're live. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hey, my name is Joe. I'm calling from Missouri.
What's up, Joe? What can I do for you? You're live.
I had a trade question about the other day. I'm in a 10-man where you get a 6-point passing touchdown. It's a super flex. I had a trade where someone offered me Herbert, Diggs, and Kraft for Brian Thomas, Ja'Cory Cross-Camara, and Mac Jones. Right. I'm on the Brian Thomas.
Hold on. Let me write it down. 1 second. Let me just, real quick, hold on. 417, mute yourself. I'll be right with you. But please put it on mute, son. Okay, Herbs, Diggs, and Kraft for what was it again? What was the return?
Brian Thomas Jr., Ja'Cory Croston-Merritt, and Mac Jones.
What's with the three-letter acronyms here? Herbs, Diggs, and Kraft for BTJ, JCM, and MAC.
Yeah, it was a Superflex 6-point passing.
Yeah,
That's what
it's a big deal. That's a big deal. Is it tight end premium as well?
No tight end premium. The 6-point passing, Superflex, the only thing going on that's different, really.
I mean, Herbs is a huge deal here in Superflex. I would probably.
My backup do have Brock Purdy too, still.
Yeah, but I would say this Herbert side wins in a Superflex, bro. Because Diggs and BTJ, I'd rather have BTJ. Let's be honest. But is it that big of a difference to sacrifice Mac, who's going probably to the bench? And I know you're saying you have Purdy, but then that you can't think about it like that. Then because then you're losing Mac. It doesn't matter what you have. You already have Purdy. So JCM, I don't feel ultra confident in JCM right now. Even though I love the player, I just don't love this situation. I like Bill, and Bill's got a great matchup this week. But I don't know. Chat, vote on this one. Your quarterbacks will be who are your starting quarterbacks if you were to trade Herbs away? You said who?
I might have said it wrong. I said the trade like who was for right. I'm on the BTJ side, so I'm trading away BTJ and JCM.
Okay.
That's what I was saying.
And who are your Who are your quarterbacks if you don't do the trade?
So if I don't do the trade right now, I got JD5 as number 1, and then I got Brock Purdy, and then Mac Jones.
Okay, so you have that already.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a little bit different context. Chat, he already has Mac and Purdy. He's got JD5. Does he trade away Mac, keeps Purdy, trade JCM, trade BTJ, gets Herbert, Diggs, and Kraft? Can I get a chat vote on this one? Let me merge this call in. Hold on one second. Vote on that, chat, and let me know what you think on this one. It's a different angle, but it does kind of change the game because he's already got Mac and Purdy cuffed together. Look, Herb isn't like going nuclear or anything, so it's not like Herb's is the cream of the crop of all quarterbacks, and his offensive line's in shambles. So there is something to consider when you already have Purdy and Mac cuffed together. Vote on this one, the BTJ side. Remember, Superflex is different. If you don't play Superflex, please don't vote because your brain is not going to comprehend the Superflex value of Herbert versus Mac Jones and Purdy. But this is a tough one. I think Diggs is close enough to BTJ, and Kraft is such a positional advantage over JCM if we're considering just their positional value, that you're really winning two sides of this trade over here, and that how far off is BTJ from Diggs? We're one game away from BTJ dropping another 40-point game or something to everybody going, he's trash again. So like let's be a little bit objective when we start valuing BTJ like his old self. I want to, but we can't lock it in. So I am curious. Travis, you're a big Patriots fan. You probably have a little bit of uncharted bias that we can't blame you for having. I think you're a pretty objective person. So you're a good one to ask because you have a little bit of mix of love and Diggs probably. But are you feeling that Mac and Purdy not that crazy of an upgrade given the state of the offensive line in LAC in regards to like this BTJ Diggs situation? What are you leaning here?
So the combo of Mac and Purdy, I think, are pretty close to Herbert. I'm taking BTJ over Diggs.
Okay.
And I like Diggs. I think you're going to have games like last week, though, where the ball will go somewhere else if they're open.
Yeah. I think that the chat is weighing a little bit toward BTJ. I think had you been trading away Mac Jones and keeping Purdy, it'd be getting Mac Jones to be different. Trading away is different. I think that I would probably lean toward BTJ, Mac, and JCM. So not doing the trade. I think I would.
Okay. I was gonna say, would it in context too? Just because the only reason why I really want to trade BTJ is because right now my receivers are like Rice, Lamb, Odunze, and Ibuka. So I'm kind of stacked there. I can only start 3 of them.
Well, I would go after a different quarterback. I'd go after a slightly better, like, offensive line situation. I'd go after Baker. I'd go after Dak Prescott. I'd go after Drake.
Okay.
Go after Mahomes. I'd also consider strongly coupling JCM, Mac, and Purdy together to go get that Herbert alone. See if he's interested in the RB enough to do that. That's probably what I'd do. All right, my boy, I got to roll. Appreciate you very much. Thank you for the question.
No worries. Thanks for the advice. Thank you. Have a good one.
Yeah. All right. Next caller is, let's see here, 417. You're live.
Yo, Smitty, this is Ricky.
What's
How
up?
are you?
What's up, my boy?
Yo, Smitty, I was just asking. I was just trying to figure it out how to get Gibbs here on this league that I'm like super stacked on.
All right.
I got Bijan, Janty, and Jacobs. So would you be interested in like moving like a Janty or a Jacobs paired with something, or maybe like straight up? I don't know. What are you thinking?
What straight up? What straight up? Who would you
Jacob.
move? But see, this is what I'm talking about here. The fact that, and I'm not trying to blast you on this. I'm just.
I don't know if he'll take that. I'm just.
I know,
like,
but I'm trying to paint a picture here. I'm not mad at you. I'm just saying the fact that we're having questions asked like, should I trade one of them straight up for Gibbs? I'm not saying that this would be great. You would be raking them over the coals. But the fact that this question's even being asked is why I did the show tonight. The fact that we have someone even, not one person, not two people, 15%, 20% of the live stream asking questions of like, would you do that? Like, you shouldn't even ask me. You should be trying that, and if it doesn't work, you don't tell anybody you made such an embarrassing offer for Jahmyr Gibbs. Offered Jacob straight up. Don't tell anybody you're doing that. Do it, but don't share it that you're that disrespectful of a human being, that you're going to go offer Genty straight up, Jacob straight up. But the mere fact that you're asking for my blessing on it makes me realize Gibbs is cheaper than he should be. And that's why we're doing the live stream. I'm not mad at you. I'm using as an example that this is a wild time we live in right now.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
For sure. So what wide receiver can you throw with one of these gentlemen to get Gibbs in a real, more realistic?
He likes Jacobs, so that's the thing. Like, he probably won't do it straight up, but I do got like BTJ, which just had a pretty good game, and he is just sitting on my bench right now because I just got Rice back, and I'm starting Rice in London, and I just lost Buka, so came in the perfect time. And so BTJ is sitting on the bench. So basically BTJ and Jacobs.
Yeah. Can you get anything thrown in? Because we do sit in these times. Yeah. Because so you're able to ask for more because we're in chaotic times. What can you get in? Hendy, Harvey, JMO, Lat McConkey, like something disrespectfully, you're grabbing a hold of something you shouldn't be grabbing on the way out the door.
He does have Harvey, so you think I should try to get that thrown in?
Yeah. I would take Harvey and Gibbs over BTJ and Jacobs, absolutely.
Okay.
Especially in your situation you described where BTJ's on the bench right now. Bye weeks are coming. Yes. Probably could use him. But this is a surplus environment.
Yeah. And the week that I'm going to need him, that's Genty's bye week. He's going to be on bye week too.
All right.
So I'm going to start Hendy, but that's okay.
All right. Do it live. Appreciate you, bro.
I appreciate you.
Later. All right, Travis, hold on 1 second. Let me just get these calls out real quick, or these super chats out real quickly. 3-3, 1 QB. This is a $20 holler by Andre, by the way.
Alert.
Andre to
super chat alert.
Andre, thank you very much for the super chat, kind sir. Andre says in his $20 absolute monster holler, he says 3-3, 1 QB, 2 running back, 2 wide receivers, 1 tight end, 1 flex. QB Stafford, running back CMC, Cook, Hall, Rashad White, Henderson, Charbonnet, Adams, Nico, Bourne. Like the team. Trade suggestions. Probably say, man, Andre, that's a tough one. I'd probably say with this team, the players that I'm trying to move, it's probably just the CMC move that I keep recommending to everybody that a lot of people don't like. They don't like hearing it. They just think it's so upsetting. But if you're not going to understand what I'm saying, at this point, I don't care to explain it over and over and over. Those that want to listen, I'll give you the Cliff Note version whenever I talk about it, but that's it. You're trading for 2 pots of gold, my boy. You're trading for 2 players using CMC, and you're getting 2 players that individually can hold their own against CMC, so that if injury were to strike one of them, this player could compete, probably not as much, but could compete with CMC to a degree. You're doing the same thing on this side. So it would be the best ideas and examples that come to mind would involve like an Adams and potentially a Jacobs, or potentially a running, or a Dunze or Adams are probably the best examples of wide receivers that I will put in this side. And then on this side, we'd probably put Henry, James Cook, Judkins. Judkins seems to be a go-to because of the concern everybody has for his volume. And this might rise an Adams up a little bit. Or if it's James Cook, who has concerned people the last 2 weeks, you could certainly get James Cook and Adams. You could probably get a Dunze, and if you do a Dunze, you're probably getting maybe a James Cook at least, or maybe even go up from there. You could potentially get a Kyron Williams. You could potentially get something better. You could probably get Jahmyr Gibbs, and straight up if you wanted to go that route. But you could probably do a Jahmyr Gibbs, and you throw in, let's say, man, they might even be, if they're a Niner fan, you throw in Bourne. But you got Jacoby. He's not bad. He's not a horrible throw in. You got Rashad White. So if this person needed running backs, you could do Gibbs and then get like a Ladd McConkey back. And that way you're getting the better running back in Gibbs, and you're getting the better player in Ladd. You could trade Rashad White for, you could get crazy and get Adams because someone doesn't know what time it is with Adams. That's the kind of CMC trade you're trying to accomplish. If you don't accomplish that, you're not understanding what I'm saying. And you literally want to do a trade that even if CMC balls out all year long, you break even. You both have the same score at the end of the year in terms of the output you get from said trade. And if Christian McCaffrey goes down, you win the trade, obviously, because you got 2 players. Even if one got hurt, you still win the trade if CMC were to go down. That's how you trade Christian McCaffrey. There's no other way to trade him. There's no some sort of even 2 for 2. You don't throw Adams or Ladd into the deal for you. You got to make sure you're making a smart maneuver, or you don't make the trade at all. But that's the only move I could see with your team, Andre, to be honest. I think your team looks really good. I love Cook. Or you can move Hall and Jacoby, or Hall and Bourne, or Hall and Sharps to the Walker owner who might be struggling and needs more than just one player, and you could secure that up. You could trade Hall for Adams straight up. You could trade Hall for potentially Derrick Henry, Hall and Sharps for Henry, Hall and Jacoby for Henry. Obviously, Barkley you would try as well. Javonte seems to be lower value today than he was 2 weeks ago, which is kind of head-scratching, but it is what it is. You take advantage of what you can take advantage of, and if you can't, you can't. Not everybody's going to be able to take advantage of Javonte. Not everybody's going to be able to take advantage of Saquon or take advantage of Henry, but you try and get all those guys. Offered Rice for McMillan and a Dunze. I would rather have Rashee Rice than a Dunze and McMillan. But I think that it could depend on your build. You have no bye week left for Dunze, which is a fantastic advantage. But at the end of the day, what Rice gives you week in and week out is worth, I think, keeping the Rice side of things. But it's a great question, and you're not crazy to want either side of that one. That one's pretty close. Smitty traded Allen for Lamb, got May. Allen for Lamb again. I love this fantastic trade, great situation. I'm only looking to maybe move Metcalf and Jaylen Warren, or Metcalf and Barkley for Gibbs on the cheap right now, per the show, the concept of the show today. And then 2 more, and then over to Travis. Smitty, are you trading the projected 26 1.1 and a late 26 first rounder and Benson for Sun God to someone who has like 3 first rounders already? I don't care what they have already. I do what works for me. And the truth is, if it's the 1.1 and a future first, I probably would say no, but I have a feeling that you're over. I don't know. You'd have to really be absolutely certain, because if
really
it's
hard.
Second or third overall, I'd rather have St. Brown. So you have to really, really be certain. And I hate the speculative, it's the 1.1. Like, is this team 0-6? Is it done by a record? Is it done through 13 weeks? Is it go extended through week 17? Is it the Super Bowl or the toilet bowl loser, which could be any team? Doesn't matter how bad the record is. They could win that game. Like, how is it decided? There's so many factors to this that make me uncomfortable answering that question, and makes me want to say St. Brown. Trade my Achane for Scatterboo and Fannin. I think that this would be, I don't know what you're, Young, you're normally, I don't know, are you okay? Could someone check on Young? He's normally on point. And this, I feel like you either mistyped this and you forgot a player, because I can't imagine you would consider Fannin and Scatterboo for Achane. Like, this is what I'm talking about. There's something in the water tonight. Young, no, absolutely not.
You've just been Smitty disapproved.
Young, you know I love you, pal. I don't mean any sort of disrespect to you. It's disrespect to the question at hand. Mute yourself, please. 505, please mute yourself. Rock out, please mute yourself, please. I'll be right with you. But Mazel Hog, I don't know what we're doing here. You don't trade Achane for Scatterboo, another Scatterboo, and another Scatterboo. You could give me 3 Scatterboos, and I'm still not trading Achane. Okay, maybe 3, but 2 of them not even. Like, we need to be careful. Like Achane just went crazy. This isn't like James Cook, who disappointed a couple weeks and you're wondering what it is. What are we doing here, Young? What are we doing here? I just saved your life. Okay, rock out, or no, Travis first. And Travis, I don't know if you wanted to talk on any of those things, but go ahead.
So just, well, with the scat thing, I think a lot of people are like overreaching for him because, you know, he was a show guy and we kind of hyped him up the past few weeks, and you were really on him in the off season. And I feel like people are feeling like they're missing out now, but now's not the time to go and overpay for him, you know.
Yeah.
And then the other thing I was going to say, when it comes to like, you see a lot, oh, it's going to be the 1.01, 1.02. Unless there's something very specific, like you said, I basically look at it and go, okay, it could be that, but will I be okay if it's a 1.05? Because if you're looking at a league where the worst record is 2-4, and there's 8 weeks left to go, so much can happen. So you better be okay with it being like a top 5 pick,
yeah,
not a top 2 pick.
And the most important thing,
a lot can change.
Yeah, the most important thing is that if your record is decided by week 13's end, whoever has the worst record gets the 1.1. Then you can tell me that you have a really good handle on it. Like, he's 0-6, and you know, no one else. The next worst team is 2-3, but they've got like Lamb coming back. Like, you've really researched this and you know your league. That's one thing. But if this does come down to the toilet bowl loser, anybody could be the 1. Like, that's ridiculous to even consider that you might have the 1.1, because any team can win. This one here, Hall, Waddle, Sutton, Kelsey for Achane. Again, like, why Tyler Warren, Diggs, and Achane? That side crushes Hall, Waddle, Sutton, and Kelsey. What are we doing with Achane? Did something happen to Achane today that I just completely missed? What in the hell is going on here? What is going on here? So the Achane side by a mile. If that's even out there, you hit smash and you do it. If you're trading it away, you don't do it. Like, what are we doing? Yes, he's 0-6. It's his pick. It'll be the 1.1. Well, if you give me the 1.1 guaranteed, I always love the 1.1. The one thing I tell people, the sun will rise and the 1.1 will gain value every day you inch toward your rookie draft. Those are the 2 things that are almost absolutes. Maybe one day we'll have it devalued, but that's the way it is right now. Maybe one day the sun won't rise. It's certainly possible. So I definitely would consider the 2 first-rounders over St. Brown in that context. I do believe you will have, like, for example, Love is going to be the top running back prospect coming out of college. Jeremiah Love is fantastic. I know everyone's going to be skittish about rookies. Everyone's going to be skittish about rookie running backs. You can't let 1 year affect the next year. There's where Love ends up landing, if it ends up shaking out that way, will be dependent on that coach, not on Vrabel, not on Sean Payton, not on anybody but the team. That you've got to remember, for every Genty and Hendy and Harvey we have had players like Bijan, like Gibbs. They're not that far apart to say something's changed in the NFL. It's not that way. We're talking about specific landing spots that put these running backs in a vulnerable state. Now, you do have to consider that sometimes a running back, if they go too early, can land on a bad team. I don't know where Love is going to be projected in the draft. It's certainly possible. And you might go after a wide receiver. My Arizona State Sun Devils. You're producing quite an amazing wide receiver right now. Who knows what the 1.1 is going to be for you? Ibuka would have been the clear 1.1 in hindsight, right? That would have been an amazing smash. So we don't know what it's going to be, but I will tell you that the odds of the running back in this class going too high is low. I think they fall to a good competitive team, unlike Genty going super high, falling to a bad team. Although I think Genty does continue to have success, but it's a great debate to have. Chad, if you knew you were getting the 1.1, you take that and a future 28 first rounder, 27 first rounder. I think it was a 27 first rounder. So 27 first rounder and the 1.1 in 2026. Would you take that or St. Brown? Please vote in the chat. I guess it also depends on if you can win right now. If you can win right now without making any moves, you can win a couple years in a row. That would also make me kind of want to lean towards St. Brown. St. Brown also does aggressively abuse his own body on the field. So there's injury risk that he brings to the table too for the longer term. Hall, Waddle, Sutton, Kelsey for HN. Again, I can't even fathom this question. Thank you, Brandon. I appreciate you. I hope you're not mad at me for blasting the question. I'm not blasting you. I'm blasting just the way that HN's being treated tonight. Go ahead, Travis. Then I'll go over to Rockout, then over to the other caller. Go ahead, Travis.
So in Dynasty, would you trade James Cook and Marvin Harrison for Gibbs alone? And if not, Gibbs and Matthew Golden?
Yeah. MHJ and Cook for Gibbs is almost falling into the exact same asinine conversation we're having with Gibbs. This is crazy. Like, I like Cook. He's been playing great, but is he maybe not falling back into some, not normalcy that he plays like this all year, the last two weeks, but the fact that he's going to be erratic, which makes him running back 7, 8, 10, 12, not 1, 2, or 3. And MHJ, can you trust him at all? Gibbs is the 1.2, 1.3 overall. Like, this is crazy to me how disrespectful Gibbs is being treated across, not just people on this, but just everywhere. Home run.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what your value on MHJ is in Dynasty. So,
I mean, there is a world, Travis, where I'd rather have Diggs than MHJ in a Dynasty, just because I'm not saying I'm just saying that if you told me, Smitty, I am the trade fairy, and I'm going to come in and I'm going to take MHJ off your roster and I'm putting Diggs on it in Dynasty, I'd probably say to you, I don't know. I don't think Diggs has got a long time, but I don't know that MHJ would even do much for those 2 years anyway. So I'm not losing any sleep over it. Carry on. I'm just telling you, I'm not saying I don't want MHJ. Yeah. I would certainly buy him low in certain scenarios. If the Cardinals change their quarterback situation, I'd be really excited about MHJ. But I truly don't know what's in store. Would I rather have JMO in Dynasty than MHJ? Again, same context. I wouldn't go looking for it, but if it happened, if I fell down, hit accept on a trade offer, JMO for MHJ, I'd get back up, dust myself off, and go, okay, well, JMO, that ain't bad. Let's see. Would it take Ladd over MHJ in a heartbeat?
Yeah. Yep. I can buy that. And real quick in Dynasty, I'll let you get to Rocco. How much do you have Bowers over McBride? Or do you?
Oh, boy.
I'm assuming.
I don't know. It's really weird. Bowers felt like a can't miss. And honestly, we don't know if he still is. It's injury. Because he had a 100-yard game already this year, and then he got injured. But, we're sitting here going, Laporta tricked us, right? And we thought Laporta is the by far top tight end coming off his big rookie season. And Laporta tricked us. Bowers, there's no way that's going to happen. I don't care if Pete Carroll, I don't care if it's bad, but we've been tricked so far. But I still very, very much like Bowers. Kyler Murray, the Cardinals, Drew Petzing, the bad play calling. Maybe some of that changes. Maybe all of it changes. Maybe none of it changes for next year. McBride's a concern enough to say it's inconsistent for all sides. What I do believe is that he's the only option for his team. When he comes back and is fully healthy, I do believe he'll excel. I do believe. So I'm going to say Bowers over McBride, but it's not crazy, and neither one of them deserves second-round value at all. Walking into 2026, you draft Bowers or McBride in the second round, you should be ashamed of yourself. Your mom's ashamed of you. No meatloaf for the whole week that you pull that off. But I still love buying Bowers low. And in Dynasty, I go shopping. Every league I'm in Dynasty, I go get Bowers. All right, hang tight.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I just asked because the guy's looking for him, so I might be able to get him too if I.
Yeah, definitely a good buy low. Definitely a good buy. Traded Bill Ladd for Panic Peters Gibbs. Traded Bill and Ladd for Panic Peters Gibbs. This is what I'm talking about. It's shameful. Now, I hope you feel good about that, though, because your friend's probably not going to talk to you ever again. I hope it's worth it. Some friendships you can let go anyway. So that one's done. That one's cooked. Put a fork in that friendship. That's done. You get from a Panic Peter, you get this trade pulled off right here. What is it again? It's Bill and Ladd for Jahmyr Gibbs. I'm surprised the league let it go through. Look, my screen's freaking out because it doesn't understand. It's putting 2 copies of it because it doesn't compute. It's trying to figure out what in the hell you just did. It doesn't even make sense. Rock out, you're live.
Want to get your thoughts on this trade me and Russian Collusion did. He sent me an offer and I accepted it.
Okay. Russian's busy tonight.
Well, he sent a couple hours. I saw it late, but
he's still busy.
The trade was my Pacheco, and I get Kenneth Gainwell and Chubb, and I got both of their running backs.
I mean,
Warren and Marks. Yeah.
I mean, I got excited about this trade till you read it off. Pacheco for Gainwell and Chubb.
He offered
it gives you security, Rocco.
Huh?
It gives Rocco good security.
Yeah.
He has Marks and Warren.
Yeah, I'd definitely rather be you for your situation. I could understand expecting Pacheco to rebound somehow. I don't know that I would count on it. I know that Russian Collusion is trying to get running backs, so I get it. But I don't know that either one of you are, excited about what you have. Chubb could fall in the end zone, but you start him, you're running the risk of getting very little. You got Woody Marks. Makes sense for you. Smitty approved it for me.
I got Woody Marks and I got Jaden. I got Warren.
Both of you got worse at the same equal level.
I don't even know why he offered it in the first place, but I was like, I'll have security with one of those running backs.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I like the trade that Russian and I pulled off where I got Stafford. I got Kyron. And then what else did he get me? It was Stafford, Kyron.
Yeah, right here.
And
it was Waddle.
Waddle, yeah. And I'm not even like the
you got
biggest,
Stafford, Kyron,
but I like
Waddle for Worthy, Hendy, and Chase Brown.
I like it.
I would too if I were you.
Yeah, I hope that this is what. So I got this side. I hope this trade. This is in the Marsman League. I hope this trade makes me look like the biggest fool on the planet. I hope Hendy turns into Jahmyr Gibbs. This would be the best gift I could give all of you, was to trade Hendy away so that he could be unleashed. Now, keep in mind that if this was Gibbs, if Hendy was Gibbs last year at this exact same week, going into week 7, it would look like you were getting lambasted. It looked like this side sucks with Gibbs. Gibbs is trash. coming out of week number 6. Same exact week. So there is still a world where Hendy proves to all that he deserves to be here. But right now, knowing what we know now, this is pretty damn good trade for me. Obviously. All right, let me go to the next caller. Hold on one second, rock out. But interesting trade you guys pulled off. Let me go over to Andrew. Andrew, you are live, young man. Or Andrew's son. 505 or whatever, or what was the number? 505?
Yo, Smitty.
Yo.
Hey.
What's up?
Smitty, I just need some reassurance here. So, I really don't want to let go of Bucky, but I got an offer for Rashee Rice. My running back room is pretty stacked.
I don't care about your running back room. You take Rice, bro. You take Rice. He's worth more than Bucky missing games. This is a home run. Even if you told me after the fact that you had no running backs, I don't care. Then you make another trade. But you have to take this Rice value. This is a golden opportunity for you. Now, you can tell me who you have. I'm just letting you know that Rice side wins this trade. You don't know. Bucky could miss until the bye week's over, bro. It could be week 10. I'm not saying he will for sure, but the way they're playing right now, they might play it safe with Bucky. And Rachaad White's sufficient enough that they might say just sit it out.
Yeah. I mean, when you hear my running back show, you'll be like, yep, definitely take Rice. I just need some reassurance.
Well, you got it. Go ahead with your running backs real quickly.
All right. So it's
pat you on the back here.
I got
Go ahead.
Bijan, Judkins, Rachaad White, Charbonnet, Dowdle.
So
Henderson.
he didn't even want Rachaad White? That's crazy.
I tried to offer him Judkins, and he didn't want him.
You tried to give him Judkins. What do you mean?
I tried to give him Judkins for Rice.
Okay.
He didn't want Judkins.
Well, I could understand him wanting Bucky more. I can understand. Like, it'd probably be smarter to take Judkins, but I'm surprised he didn't want Rachaad White with Bucky, though. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Hey, man, you did good. Good on you. Smash. Home run. Smitty approved.
I'll smash it.
Nice work, bro.
You've just been Smitty.
Did you say you're going to smash it? You haven't done it yet?
I'm gonna accept it right now.
You better. If he's watching, the show's getting bigger, bro. You better hit it now. You better hit it before you hang up. All right, later. If he doesn't get it, that would be so bad if he's like, bro, he just pulled it. He was watching the channel. We got about a 10-second delay this far into an episode, bro. So you better hurry and smash that. You better whatever you got to do, drop what you're doing and hit that accept button. We're getting into more households every single day. And on that note, hit that subscribe button. And turn the notification bell on. What's this guy doing? Hey, Smitty, just calling to get reassurance. Should I pick up the $100 bill on the ground or pick up the $50 bill? This is a good trade, especially in this situation. I like Bucky. Don't get me wrong, but all right, go ahead, Travis. Back to Travis. You're live.
Yeah. So another league, I'm looking at trying to get Gibbs from a guy. So my dilemma is right now my only two wide receivers besides Travis Hunter is AJ Brown and Brian Thomas, BTJ. Would you give up AJB and Javonte to get Gibbs?
Yes.
After that,
absolutely.
I would be my wide receiver 2 would end up being waiver wire.
Yeah, I mean, I feel you, but our is part of you. I'm not saying Javonte vanishes. I'm not saying that at all. I think Javonte looks fantastic, but
can't lose any more weeks either. That's the problem. Yeah. I'm 1-5.
But Javonte and James Cook are both becoming players that are going to not always be riding on cloud 9. I'm not saying that they both turn into trash or anything, but we are witnessing them have bad games, and everybody thought James Cook was invincible. He's number 2 running back. Like, there were people that would come into the live stream and be like, James Cook's the number 2 running back going forward, and now you hear people like dogging him and wanting to get rid of him. And I'm not saying Javonte is going to fall off, but I think we are looking at maybe the highest buy low Gibbs opportunity mixed and combined with still a very high end sell Javonte high opportunity. And even if these two guys bounce back, you're getting good return if you're going after a Gibbs.
All right. Yeah. Like I said, my only question was, I mean, my wide receiver 2 will be like Luther Burden.
Yeah,
Johnson.
Luther Burden's gonna be
Like
quite valuable for the next couple of weeks. I love Luther Burden with DJ Moore out. Luther Burden, well, I'll probably have a video. I'll make sure to write that down too. Probably have a video on Luther Burden being probably one of the steals of the week. Probably one of the best ads and plug and plays of the week would be Luther Burden. Because DJ Moore, he went to the hospital, like you said. I mean, last night, it's not like he's going to just roll in week number. I mean, anything's possible, but he's probably not rolling for week number 7. There's probably going to be missed time. I imagine a couple games.
You like Burden over Whittington, probably?
Yeah.
Who can miss his games?
We did like Whittington, and he vanished once they brought in Adams. And I got to admit, I have so many on the pre-big board, like before the NFL draft. I have a ton of teams with Whittington, so I do like him. But I just don't know. Tutu out increase.
3 catches, so.
Yeah, probably like Tutu a little more, but do love Whittington as a player. I'd be very, very excited to see him thrive. But I think Burden's probably the better option. Not to mention that even if Caleb doesn't get him the ball fully, there's short manufactured plays for Luther Burden, like wide back-esque and end arounds and jet sweeps and stuff that Luther Burden can get involved in. So it's not like he can walk out with no touches. He might walk out with less targets than we want because of Caleb. Who knows? But certainly something that I think he can overcome more times than not just by getting, these manufactured plays call for him. BTJ for Swift. I'd rather have BTJ. I take advantage of that Swift value. And if you're trading away BTJ, I always never know how your guys are wording it sometimes backwards. BTJ. I'm not trading BTJ. Pick up Judy or Wandell. Probably. What's Judy even done the last handful of weeks? What did Judy do last week? Am I just spacing on him having any sort of production? What did you
got him right here? He had 13 targets, 5 for 43. So maybe his targets go up. But
wow, he had 13 targets, but he did have a decent 5 for 43. I mean, that's a decent line. I'm not saying it's good, but 13 targets. That's great. You got getting nothing out of it though in the grand scheme. Man. What was it, Judy Wandell? Give me Wandell.
Yeah.
Give me Wandell. It's a close question though. I mean, if Judy got Shador, it might be different. It could definitely open things up. I don't know. Wandell is probably the call right now. 13 targets. You tell me he got 13 targets. I tell you he got 15 fantasy points minimum. But instead he got 9. That's crazy. Because if you get 11 targets, you're probably getting, you hope, like 6 to 7 receptions in a bad situation. You're probably getting 10 yards per catch, so 65 yards roughly. You're scoring 12. You're scoring 12 points. You're probably scoring more than your targets. You're probably scoring at least a little bit more than your target amount. I would think. Like even looking at Judy, 5 for 66. That's 11. So his targets were 8. He scored 11. This is where he had 13 targets and he scored 8 points. He scored below his target number. That's crazy. Wow. Negative.
Real quick, would you be okay dropping Pitts if you had Tyler Warren and Fannin?
Sure, but I would try and trade him. The tight end market is pretty bleak. But
it's a league no one trades in, unfortunately.
Yeah, Whittington's interesting. I definitely don't mind him. I have so many shares of Whittington. in the pre-best ball, like before the NFL draft, when we thought he was going to be a breakout wide receiver potentially. Puka and Whittington, I remember there was a time where he was the number 2. We thought he was going to be the number 2. So we like him a lot. He's a very intriguing player. Very intriguing. But just would I rather have Wan'Dale right now? That's a tough question because Wan'Dale probably gets a lot of volume. And, he's arguably the number 1 wide receiver for Dart. So, and who to start week 7? Rodgers, Love, Purdy, or Young? Man, Rodgers he's hard to trust, but he's also, he's playing in Cincinnati. He's been QB 7 and then last week QB 16. Those are 2 highest weeks. The 3 previous games. He's rested off the bye though. 3 previous games was in between, sandwiched in between, was QB 23, QB 24, QB 24. He was QB 7 against the Jets. That was a good defensive matchup. The New England, the Seattle, and the Minnesota matchups, the only tough one, or the only easier one was Seattle. But now he goes up against a very easy Cincinnati matchup. So that's a tough one. Jordan Love, though, I just think you probably got to go. The matchup's not ideal on paper, but I think it's deceptive because I don't think the Cardinals are as dangerous as the stats might suggest they are. You can throw on them. I will probably say Jordan Love is the call for me. I don't think I could sit Jordan Love with these options, but trust your gut. It's pretty close. Let me hit these real quickly. Hold on, gentlemen. I think there's just one more super chat. This one's from Greg. Greg, appreciate your super chat, young man. He says, Smitty, which tight end this week? Otten. Whoops. Let me put it back on screen. Otten, Taylor, or Mayer. We need more news on Bowers, but in a vacuum, if deciding now, I would probably say Otten. With the injuries to Godwin and Evans, still uncertain, and Buka out, Otten should get some solid run. And the one thing Baker does, so Otten and Burden are going to be 2, spot starts of the week. I'll even write that down here just to make sure I go over it. 2 spot starts of the week. You need an injection. At a position, tight end Otten, wide receiver Burden. Whittington might also be on this list when I do this video because I still do like Whittington. I just want to make sure we're talking Wan'Dale, Whittington. Wan'Dale feels safer. 6 targets last week, finally in the green on the target column. 5 is yellow, 6 is considered green lit when you're looking at like a chart. So getting 6 targets, nice. 81 yards last week, 6 targets this week, 5 for 51. That's it's 11 points in PPR. It's a good day, or 10 points. I would definitely say Otten's your safest play. And then this super chat here from Daniel. Daniel, thank you for the blank $2 hauler. I'll look for your message, but make sure you include it in the message. Not super chat and then say see my message, because then I don't see it by the time I get to it. Go ahead, rock out. You got anything else? And then back over to Travis.
Yeah, what's a good trade I could do for Goddard with either receiver AJ Brown or Samuel?
Goddard and AJ
or Samuel.
Yeah. Probably say
trying to get a receiver.
A receiver. So you're gonna try for. I still love Adams more than this. I still love Ladd, but quietly, so you almost get Ladd and something and do it 2 for 2, or they got a Harvey or a Hendy, you get him to throw it in because you're frustrated with them. Woody Marks, like something like that. I think if you gave me Marks or Harvey or Hendy, I could do this with Ladd potentially.
Yeah, I already got Marks.
BTJ, Adams, Dunze with the buy out of the way, Rashee Rice, obviously. You get past that, you can't go any higher. Ted McMillan's interesting if you want to take a gamble. Pickens would be interesting if you want to take a gamble, and I think people that have Pickens, you could almost get that extra piece where they throw in that extra Harvey or whatever, just because they're in fear that the glass is going to fall over. It's full, it's overflowing, and now Lamb's here to just knock it over. That's the way that these people that have Pickens feel right now. This is a lot of talent. You want to make sure you're not just doing it for Pickens. I think you could get Pickens and something. But this would be a nice sidestep for me, personally.
Yeah.
But
right.
honestly, the only true answers that are safe would be BTJ or and this, even if you have these guys, this will help other people, or Adams, or Adunze. I think these are the most logical one-player acquisitions for this package that is actually pretty large. And if you put Debo in it, it's probably the same thing.
Okay. Appreciate it.
Yeah. All right, Rock Out. Anything else? I might wind down the show anyway. So, anything else before you jump?
Do you got any sense on Bucky, or we just
nothing?
Or, yeah.
I mean, anytime a player says, it's not in my hands, what happens, he's got these passages, which I respect and appreciate, and I like Bucky a lot. There's nothing wrong with hope or prayer or anything like that. But when a player does put a bunch of that on their social media, it's not like they're coming back that week. Things happen for a reason, perseverance this, perseverance that, all these different quotes. And it's like, good Lord, man, how long are you out? So that concerns me a little bit, but we'll have to play it by ear. Right now, he's out this week. The fact that his head coach said, yeah, week 7's not in play for Bucky, that feels not like next week is good to go. It doesn't mean it's not, because he could progress, and, you're evaluating these things are day to day sometimes. So he could get progressively better all of a sudden on the weekend. He could wake up one day on like Saturday morning and go, oh, I feel great. I know I can't play, but I feel great. And then all of a sudden we're like, okay, good. But it's definitely not trending toward, he's just out one more week. We're trending toward, we're kind of 50-50 on whether he plays before the bye week, bro. So.
Yeah, I give you a trade offer I got for him. I didn't really take it, but
okay, go
one
ahead.
One of the trade offers was giving my Bucky, and I would get Chase Brown and McBride, but I didn't need a tight end.
Okay, you don't need a tight end?
No.
Well, then probably not. But if you could flip it and you feel confident about that, you could do it.
I don't know how you feel about Chase Brown going forward versus waiting on Bucky.
No, I'm waiting on Bucky. I like Chase Brown.
Yeah,
I mean, more so for the future, but I don't know, bro. All right, rock out.
Yeah,
See
that's
you
why.
later. Appreciate you.
All right, cool.
All right, Travis, anything else?
I kind of feel like Bowers might be out through the bye since they have a week 8 bye.
Could be, yeah.
So, off what Pete Carroll said.
For sure.
I think.
And when that news hits officially, that Bowers is out until after the bye week, that's when you strike, because his owners are gonna go. Their attitude, they're pissed off. It's like dropping their Cobb salad. All the chicken goes everywhere in the break room, and now they don't even have chicken for their Cobb salad. Now, not only can they not go eat wings with the boys at lunch, they're on a strict budget from the missus. They drop their chicken as well. Like that's the feeling they have when Bowers is ruled out through the bye week. So you can swoop in and take them. All right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, and just I know that guy was asking. You're saying Auden was probably a better option for him, but if you don't have that option, Michael Mayer is a really good option still. I think. What do you have? He had 7 targets last week.
Yeah.
A little tougher this week.
Yeah, Mayer's good.
If you have Bowers and you're stuck,
Yeah, I'll put that down too. Mayer's good. All right, thanks, Travis. Appreciate you.
Yeah, I'll hang up. If you could just give me a couple in Dynasty, I basically need like a rental type guy that I could give up not a ton for, a second rounder maybe, something like that at wide receiver, because I lost Neighbors, I lost MHJ. I have London and I have Balabin. That's all I got left. So I need, depth or a wide receiver that might not cost a ton but could help
I've
you out.
seen
You know,
Keenan Allen would be good. I've seen, because he's no dynasty appeal really. I've seen people throw T. Higgins around like trash, but so that would be something. I don't know if that's going to work in every situation.
No, that might actually. Cause the guy with Bowers and Gibbs has T. Higgins too.
Yeah.
So,
Mike Evans, older, injured, coming back and not back yet. That's a good move. McLaurin, same thing. Older. People are thinking he's done anyway. So McLaurin. And then the last one I'd say would be like maybe a Jerry Jeudy.
Yeah, that's true.
Or Ridley, I guess. Ridley would be decent too.
How long do you think till they actually fire Stefanski and Shador might get a shot? Another month? 2 weeks? If things keep looking like this on offense?
I don't know, man.
Who knows?
Should bring in Dion.
It's frustrating.
Just bring it.
Right?
Just bring Dion in. Just bring him in.
I think that was part of the fear for certain coaches drafting Shador. Oh, if I'm crappy, you know, Dion will be breathing down my neck for the coach.
Oh no.
Might be.
All
right. Thanks, Smitty.
Later, man.
Later. Bye.
Man, it's ridiculous. Put in Shador. Just do it. Or trade him. The Raiders should take him. Send him to Jacksonville as a backup plan. 5-1. Should I trade Igbuka for any of these? Hall, ETN, Dobbins, Scatterboot? Not straight up, no. Would I take like Scat and ETN? Would I take Hall and Scat? Yeah, probably, I guess, depending on the situation. I'd rather have one of these guys like ETN or Scat with a receiver, like a lad or something, but not one for one. You got to wait on Book for that. JSN, Buka, London, Nico. Nice wide receiver room, man, especially when Buka comes back. Bill, Dowdle, Harvey, Hendy, Warren Marks. Drop one for Bourne, Booty, Bam, or Knight. I probably, if I'm dropping somebody, honestly, it's probably Coker. And your receivers are so good. And I probably would take, with your situation, I'd rather have Bam Knight because he's going to help you more than the receiver will. And then rest of season Fannin by a mile. I love Fannin, bro. Fannin's a baller. And he's got such a good opportunity. And then Daniel, Harvey, or Dobbs for Daniel Jones Fields. Start. I don't know what that means. You mean you're starting whoever you're getting? Daniel Jones. I think that's what you're asking. Harvey or Dobbs? I would rather keep Harvey. So trade Dobbs for Daniel Jones. I think that's what you're asking, but for sure. And the answer is Daniel Jones over anything Fields related right now. It just is what it is. Daniel Jones is consistent. He's steady. He looks really good. He's fun to watch. He's fun to root for. All right, ladies and gentlemen, appreciate all your super chats. Appreciate all your support. Appreciate all your thumbs up. Appreciate all your gifted memberships. Gifted memberships tonight on this show. We didn't have any, but we had Russian Collusion. We had BBQ. We had Andres dropped them recently. I appreciate so many of you. Russian Collusion dropping super chats and WADs. Everybody dropping whatever you've dropped. Appreciated. The $20 haulers tonight. We had Christo, appreciate your $20 hauler. We had the Andre with a 20, Stiffy with a 20, Andre with another 20. Andre, you're a monster. Appreciate every single one of you. I'm going to head over to the Patreon right now to answer as many questions as I can over the next few minutes for sure, but probably on and off all night. There's the Patreon. If anybody wants to become a part of a 24-hour live chat group, that is this link right here that I've pinned right there. Also, don't forget to get on over to our sponsor that I absolutely so thrilled we have a part of this show now.
The Gunner Player of the Week. Brought to you by Gunner.com.
These blue light blocking glasses, I can't tell you how much they mean to me. You could sit here and say, Smitty, you're just saying this because they're a sponsor. I sought them out. just like I seek out pretty much all my sponsors for the most part. Core Board is one of them. Love my boys over at the Core Board. Not to do a double sponsorship, but this is the way I roll. This is honesty. Core Board. You guys see it over on the corner here. This is how I stay fit with the cables. It's the best system out there, period. I absolutely love it, and I will continue to promote them even beyond what I'm trying to do in terms of promoting them. I will promote them probably forever. Like I love
The Gunner Player of the Week.
Gunner.
Brought to you by Gunner.com.
Look at Gunner sent me all of these to showcase to you, and right now I'm wearing the Clicks, the CLIX, which we're giving away this month, 1 pair of Clicks. But if you want to get another pair, 15% off using code Smitty. I don't think these don't work for The Witcher, which are right here, but that's okay. Buy The Witcher anyway if you love The Witcher. This is the Witcher from the TV show Witcher. These are actually like official Witcher glasses. They promote the show. These are the yellow blue light blocking, and these are the sunglass blue light blocking. But absolutely love all of these shades, man. They're fantastic. Love these. These are the best out there. Love the Fallout are one of my favorites as well. These are the Fallout. Love these blue light blocking glasses. These are fantastic. Some of them look very similar, but when you have them, you know the difference. These are a little thicker too. Around, they're almost like a you could almost say like a not a goggle, but gaming. This is like a gaming goggle, like in a way. But I love them. They're fantastic. But go check out Gunner.com. 15% off. I'll drop a link on the way out the door so you guys can just click the link. But if you use code Smitty, you can get 15% off. Nothing like blue light blocking glasses for your eye strain, for migraines. I don't get migraines with all this light. Go check them out. Let me see if I can drop the link real quick in the live chat for all of you. Here is the link right here. Let me put it in the live chat. There it is. Boom. Smash said link. Gunner.com. Player of the week is Ladd McConkey, by the way, the Gunner player of the week. Go get Ladd. Ladd is a gunner. Ladd's going to be gunning for touchdowns all year long and going to be gunning for your wide receiver 1 because Ladd knows how to do it and do it live. Appreciate all of you. See you on the Patreon. Again, 24/7 live chat group. That link is pinned in the live chat. See you on the Patreon. And tomorrow we'll do drafting. I'm sorry we didn't do any tonight. Underdog promo code Smitty. Play 5. Get 100. If you want to draft right now without me, we'll draft tomorrow night. Click this link and draft on Underdog. If your season's in the crapper or if it's not in the crapper, get more skin in the game regardless. Click this link that I just dropped in the live chat. It's in the description of every video. Code Smitty also gets it done. But draft on Underdog right now. Change your fate. Draft a new team right now. Get more skin in the game. See you all on Patreon. I'll be over there right now answering questions. Link is pinned in the live chat or in the description of the video if you want to join the live chat Patreon 24/7. I'm live Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, every single Monday through Friday. I'm live whenever big news breaks. I'm also live at midnight Eastern almost every single night. We're really late tonight, but I appreciate you all joining me. See you later. Deuce.